Yeah.
This is the fake Starbucks. Trevor is showing it to you.
Here.
Is that it, Trevor? This is where they make the fake drinks. Are you gonna get something?
No.
It's fake.
It's fake.
I was running through the six with my walk. You know how that shit go. You know how that shit go. You know how that shit go. Running through the six with my walks. You know how that shit go. You know how that shit go.
Back at it again with another Starbucks video. Bringing you new content every week. You know it. That's how we do it on Sammy B's channel. It's because it's the Starbucks video. Gotta put on the apron. So I'll get my apron out. Once again, I stole this. This is the real deal. Gotta have the real apron. Presenting the siren. That's what they call it, the siren. This thing. If you still want to watch part 1, it's in the description or on my channel, so go watch it. This is part 2, real Starbucks talk. First thing I want to say is if you are looking at this video thinking I might want to work at a Starbucks, I personally feel like it's pretty good. It's a pretty good job experience to have. I think everyone needs to have an experience where they work at a job like, you know, fast food or something like that. And working at Starbucks is a lot better than working at McDonald's or something like that. Working at Starbucks is a lot better than working at any other fast food restaurant for a multitude of reasons. I mean, you get the free drinks. You get the smell of coffee instead of grease. You get chill hipster people coming in. But I mean, there's always bad things too. So just an overall thing to say at first, if you're thinking about working at Starbucks, good on me. But get like a real job afterwards. Don't just work at Starbucks the rest of your life. Also have to say, I mean, this is the real Starbucks half of my video, but technically it wasn't either because it was in the JW Marriott Hotel and it didn't have a drive-through. So it was a lot easier than working at a real one probably. Working at a hotel Starbucks as opposed to a regular one is pretty nice, but I will say like it's basically the same thing. It was a hotel that was so fancy, it had its own Starbucks built in. Obviously we're talking big money. Shout out to Rick Harrison. I actually got orientation to be a hotel worker overall. So I was technically like employed by the hotel instead of Starbucks, which kind of had like, you know, its benefits and whatnot. Like instead of getting the benefits someone working at a Starbucks would get, you know, like the college, free college and stuff like that, I got like free hotel rooms and like a bunch of other free stuff from the hotel, which is cool, but I mean, I didn't really use them ever. With that being said, this is the realest Starbucks I've ever worked at because they had the whole menu of drinks, they had everything about a Starbucks was like the same. It looked like a Starbucks, it had the Starbucks logo, exact same uniforms as a regular Starbucks would. So it's closest to working at a real Starbucks I could get. The only difference is most have a drive-through, but mine didn't. So that was something about it that was definitely different that I kind of liked. Like I thought about quitting sometimes and I was like, yeah, but I don't want to work at a Starbucks with a drive-through. And also we didn't really have to like take out the trash or clean bathrooms or anything because just the hotel employees did that. Hotel orientation was like you got to go around the whole hotel. I went to like the top floor and everything. But I mean, they didn't really like, you know, let me see much of the hotel after that. It was just like one day I saw like everything, got all this information, and I kind of forgot it after like a couple months. So it was nice, but it didn't really, you know, help you out that much. Specifically when like customers would come to the hotel Starbucks and be like, hey, where's like this meeting room? And I'd be like, I don't know. I only go on the second floor of this hotel. The thing I loved about working here was the free drinks. Like I tasted literally every beverage that Starbucks has ever created and every beverage that I've wanted to make up. Like I made up my own drinks and I tasted everything on the menu. Just from that, I like actually like learned to like coffee because like I would get free coffee every day no matter what I wanted. As long as I had my cup that they gave me to like reuse every day, I could literally just like get whatever drink I wanted when there was free time. I learned the flavor of like every drink and I could like recommend stuff to people. I really like that about working there because that way I got like more insight into the brand and everything, and I could really like specifically like think about like what to recommend to people. I'm pretty sure most Starbucks will let you have free drinks, so if you are thinking about working at one, that's a pretty cool part of the experience. I feel like a lot of the customers don't realize like how much there is on the menu. Like no one ever really realizes how much is on the menu unless you work there, because there's so many drinks and so many like secret drinks and stuff like that. Because this was a hotel Starbucks, it got a lot of conferences and stuff like that. And like I said in my video before, we got the biggest lines ever. Like, these lines were so long that people were waiting in line for a meeting, and the line was so long that halfway through the line they waited and they had to leave to go to the meeting because they've been waiting that long because there were so many people. Like, no matter how many people we had behind the counter, we had up to like 6 or 7 people making drinks and taking orders and stuff like that, and it still was not enough to satisfy the entire line within like the time that they had for a break. That's how big the line was. I can't even like describe it. It had to be like at least 100 or 200 people in line at some times. But like I said, they would leave like halfway through the line, so it was really only a line of like 20 people because we could only serve like so many people within the time that they had a break. And once people had breaks between meetings, they would just be gone completely. There would be no one in our lobby. So it was really like random. It would be like points of like a lot of people or no people. But then every now and then there would be a conference where it was just people hanging out in the Starbucks area all the time, and those times just totally killed me. Like, with that being said, if you are a person that if you were thinking about working at Starbucks, I don't know why this is like a if you should work at Starbucks video, but that's just what it's becoming. But if you're a person that you think you want to work at Starbucks, don't work at one that you know is going to be busy all the time, because that can totally kill you. I'm talking like one in a mall or like downtown somewhere, like a really busy place that always gets business, because it will totally kill you. Try to find one that has less interesting stuff going on around it. Like, if you live like downtown or something and there's one like a little bit outside of town, try to get that one instead, because most of the time, the only time they'll really have rushes is in the morning, which is a lot less stress on you if you have like a closing shift. Although, if you do want more tips and stuff like that, then definitely work at one that gets more business. So it's up to you, you know, if you want to work more, go for it. I just don't really like, you know, making drinks, so that's just how I am. I'd rather do what I study in college. Some crazy things that happen. A lot of times people would get like mad at us because we would take too long and the line would be like too long, and they'd be like, why aren't you like, you know, like, there was always an old lady that would come. There'd always be old ladies that would come up and be like, why is this taking so long? You should be like more focused or whatever. I'm like, bitch, how the fuck are we supposed to be faster? There's literally a line of like 100 people. We can only go so fast. And something I would like say to my coworkers all the time, if you are waiting in line for Starbucks, you should be willing to wait for it no matter how long the line is, because like, it's Starbucks. It's gonna take a long time, or it's not. You don't really know. So like, if you're gonna like get mad at someone, don't get mad at the baristas. They're always trying to go as fast as they can. I guarantee you, if they're being slow, they will get like in trouble for it. And if they are just like having a rough day, it's very unlikely that they're going slow on purpose. They're usually only going slow if it's a hard drink to make or something like that. So don't get mad at someone for being slow at Starbucks. That's all I can say. It's never really their fault. There's always a lot of drinks and stuff like that, and a lot of stuff to go through. That old lady that said we were going slow, you know, she can just go not be my friend. Working at Starbucks, you always have to make food, and that's something that's really annoying. I don't know if I mentioned in my video before, but if you want to get food at Starbucks, it's not fresh. It's all pre-made and frozen. Every single thing that you get from Starbucks comes in like a frozen box, and the baristas put it behind the counter and heat it up in an oven. That's all there is to it. There's no fresh stuff. Nothing is fresh made in the food department. A lot of people would order food when they went there because it was in a hotel where they didn't really have cheap breakfast. All the restaurants there were super expensive. Any restaurant outside the hotel was like a decent walk away. So when people wanted to get a snack, they would go to Starbucks, and oh my lord, it got so busy just from the food. Like half the time people wouldn't even order coffee, they just ordered food, and that's like all they went there for. And in my mind, I always thought this, like, this is not McDonald's, this is Starbucks. Stop coming here for food. Like, walk down the street and get food. That's what I always thought to myself. I was like so tired from heating up food in the oven and like calling it out. One day we were super busy, like I said, really long lines, and it was this group of kids, and they were just like, you know, kids in high school in like band or something. And this one dude comes up. We had been, you know, making food all morning, and I was just like done because I was super tired and stuff like that. But this dude comes up and he orders a sausage and cheddar breakfast sandwich. That's what it's called. That's what it says on the little tag for it. It's in the case, whatever. He orders his drink and he's super fast. You know, he probably ordered like an Americano or something because he was a douche. He comes up to order and he's like, I'll have like an Americano and a sausage McMuffin. I'm like, bitch, this is not McDonald's. Oh my God. Like, I was literally just like, what the fuck? I literally looked and I was just like, what? Like, oh my God. I looked at him like, this is not McDonald's, okay? Like, I was literally like, just like so like, because I've been thinking this like the whole time I worked there for like the past few months, like this is not McDonald's. And this dude literally comes up and orders a sausage sandwich and says, sausage McMuffin, please. I'm like, no, you can't have a sausage McMuffin. This is not McDonald's. Oh my God. It killed me. I was done. That was not like my breaking point though. I got over it, you know, because people said that a lot. Like, I'm sure that wasn't the only time someone went to a Starbucks and ordered a sausage McMuffin. And they were unfortunately disappointed to find out that it wasn't a sausage McMuffin. It was a Starbucks McFrozen McSausage shit. Another thing that happened was we had cheerleader conventions come in, and these were like 12-year-old girls and under, like all ordering Frappuccinos, and that was just annoying as heck because they were all just like, oh my God, cotton candy Frappuccino and all that shit. I was like, no, I don't want to make that shit. But yeah, that's basically it. The whole thing with them was just they were crazy. These kids ordered Frappuccinos. I swear to God, I saw the same kids come in like 3 times in one day. Like every single kid that was there, every girl in this cheerleader convention came to my Starbucks 3 times in the same day and ordered the same drink. It was fucked up. Gotta get all the sugar you need to do all those flips and shit. Old people would come in and like set up their whole freaking meeting at a table at the Starbucks. I'm like, get a freaking meeting room. This is a hotel that is chock full of meeting rooms. Like, this hotel is designed for business. They have plenty of meeting rooms. Don't bring like 20 dudes in suits to my Starbucks and all order them coffee and then just sit down at a table and drag all the chairs from the lobby up there and be like, hey, what's up? We're talking business over here. All that stuff. Nah, man, you don't need that. I don't want that. I want it to just be my customers that are chill in my place and then just be done with them. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, it's just people, you know, you need to respect the place. You can't just hog the whole eating area. One thing I also hated was getting regular customers. So having like new people every week was kind of like refreshing. That way you didn't see the same people every week. They'd be just like, oh, I get my usual. I hate when people come in and they're just like, oh, I get my usual. Like people that worked at the hotel would do that. They would come up and order the same drink every time and they'll just be like, my usual please. And I'm like, how am I supposed to remember your drink? I see hundreds of people every day. I'm not gonna remember everything. It's almost, give me usual. You know, your usual is to leave ho, okay? The last thing that happened when I worked there that I want to talk about is this one time when it was a convention of like old ladies. It was all old ladies. I forget what it was called, but they were all old ladies and they all loved Starbucks, but like they didn't really know what to order every time, so they would always just kind of like come up and like snoop around. Like they would just come up and look around, but they wouldn't order anything. And there was this one time, I swear to God, I'm going to reenact it for you. This is what happened. Me and all my baristas were chilling because there wasn't any customers, and we see this big group of old ladies and they are just like walking up to us. And it's like this. We look over and we see these old ladies and they're just like walking over like this.
Ain't nobody fucking with my click, 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 click. Ain't nobody fresher than my motherfucking click, click, click.
And then me and all the baristas were just like,
As I look around, they don't do
what?
like my click.
What do you want?
Click,
Come at me, bitch. It was like a freaking turf war looking thing going on. Like old ladies walking up to us, baristas walking up to the bar, like shit was about to go down. And then they just didn't order anything, so it was, you know, it was nothing. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I really have to say about working at Starbucks. I'm closing this topic now on my channel. Unless you guys want me to share anything else about it, like my favorite drinks or something like that, I could do that, I guess. I'm kind of over it, but I do know a lot about Starbucks, so if you ever need any info, just hit me up, you know. That will do it for this video. So thumbs up if you liked it, and stay tuned for next week. If you have an idea for a video, comment it below. Later.